Good morning. My name is Kathy Galatka, and I am a proud Silent Samaritan. And I'm pleased to welcome you to our 30th anniversary Silent Samaritan Luncheon of Thanksgiving and celebration. As we settle in, let's take a minute to reflect on why we are gathered here today. The Silent Samaritans began 30 years ago because of a simple conversation between two women who recognized a need and wanted to help. They saw the need to support women in our community who seek counseling services but are unable to afford the full fee. Since then, the Silent Samaritans collectively have made an impact on the lives of hundreds of women, our friends, our families, our co-workers, and many women we do not even know. The result is a ripple effect that transcends the counseling room, because when women receive the care they need, their healing brings stability, compassion, and resilience into the wider community. In 2025 alone, the Silent Samaritans have helped subsidize over 530 counseling sessions for 65 women who sought help. Now let that sink in. Each of you made that possible. Isn't that wonderful? Now, in our 30th year, we are over 300 women strong, and we raise more than $50,000 each year to help women in need. That adds up to over $1.75 million raised since 1995. Extraordinary. Congratulations. The theme of this year's luncheon is yesterday, today, and our tomorrow. It captures the spirit of this milestone year: gratitude for what's been built, celebration for the care happening now, and looking ahead to the last impact we can create for tomorrow. To carry this theme through our time together, we've created two spaces for you to visit: a memories table over there, and a community and connections table. We hope you'll stop by to reflect on a special memory from luncheons past and to reflect about why you are involved with the mission of Women Helping Women. We can also think about the community of friends that we've become, even as we joyously welcome new women to join the cause. We want to take a moment to thank our amazing volunteers who help make this day possible. As you know, the Silent Samaritan Committee spends months planning every detail of today's luncheon. The committee members' names are listed in your program, and they are wearing special name tags today. As one of the co-chairs of the committee, I can tell you that they each have contributed so much to the success of this year's luncheon. I'd like to ask each of the 2025 Silent Samaritan Committee members to stand and be recognized. We also recognize many volunteers behind the scenes. Friends volunteered to sign letters, fold, stuff, stamp, and mail those letters. And so many ladies pitched in today to make this luncheon special. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you very much. I'd also like to welcome several members of the Silent Samaritan Center Board of Directors and several staff members joining us as well. Welcome. Would the Samaritan board members and staff members please stand for a moment to be recognized? Thank you for all your work and dedication to making mental health services available and accessible to women in our community. Thank you, ladies. We would like to thank and recognize all our sponsors supporting our mission. Each of our sponsors is featured in your program and in our slideshow. Many of these sponsors have representatives here today. And would our sponsors please stand for recognition? Thank you so much. Thank you. We also thank our generous table sponsors. You have invited your friends to attend and learn about the Silent Samaritan cause, and we cannot thank you enough for spreading the word. Research has shown that women often navigate unique mental health challenges. Women are twice as likely to experience depression, trauma, generalized anxiety, and panic disorder, phobias, and eating disorders. According to the CDC, nearly 3 in 5 teen girls in the United States felt persistently sad or hopeless in 2021. Double that rate for boys, and the highest level reported in the past decade. Maternal health challenges are also widespread. Each year, roughly 600,000 mothers experience postpartum depression or related conditions, and many never receive the care they need. It's estimated that half go undiagnosed, and 3 out of 4 never get treatment. And as women age, those challenges continue to grow. According to AARP, mental health diagnosis among women 65 and older have increased by nearly 60% over the past 20 years. But therapy can help. Therapy for women is empowering and important. And when a woman asks for help, she should be able to receive it every time. The Silent Samaritan mission started with a calling, a few women, a desire to do something. 30 years later, that call still echoes in every story shared, every friendship formed, and in the life of every woman who found hope and healing because someone answered that call. We wanted to spotlight the voices behind the mission, the women who transformed an idea into action. This video is a reflection on that journey, yesterday, today, and our tomorrow.
We had 2 young teenagers, and my husband had been recently diagnosed with brain cancer. And they were so helpful to guide us through that difficult time. And I was so appreciative. And I thought of the fund because I thought there were a lot of people who couldn't afford that counseling. We were fortunate to be there and to afford the counseling, but there were so many who couldn't afford that and could benefit from the fund.
In 1999 and 2000, when I was going through a bit of a difficult time in my personal life, I decided that I would seek some counseling in the Samaritan setting. And it was the first time that I had ever had therapy, and I found it to be so affirming and so helpful to me getting through that time. I was very fortunate because my health insurance covered the cost of my visits to the Samaritan Center. However, I was aware that there are many people who need help, who either don't have insurance that will cover that for them, or they can't afford to make the payments for them on their own.
I've been very supportive of this program through the years because I know that there are women who have been helped tremendously by being able to be counseled or take advantage of our programs through this fund, which helps them to pay the fees which they can't afford for the whole thing.
And I like the thought that it made me realize that the life I took for granted was not the life a lot of women had. I had a healthy family. I had choices. At that time, I could go back to work or stay at home. And I knew that that made my life so much easier than so many women who were struggling.
Many of those women had issues and fears and troubles, just like we do. The difference is they don't have the resources to seek help.
I like the idea of women in the community banding together and making things through.
Having this opportunity to serve on a committee dedicated to women helping other women in this way gives me an opportunity. It brings me so much joy, but it gives me an opportunity to pass it on to others, to bring a healing and wholeness to other people and their families.
Takes me back to the first luncheon. It was held in 1996. It was out on Oregon Pike at the old Quality Inn, and they were a small group of women. And I wanted to learn more about the fund because my late husband, Jay Humphreys, was on the board of directors, and he talked about the Samaritan Counseling Center and what an important agency it was in the community to provide counseling for families and individuals. And I remember it was exactly what I hoped it would be. I walked into the room and there was a lot of energy, and I had a chance to visit with friends and make new friends. I just love the spirit of women doing something positive to make life better for others.
Having that funding option available for women is very important. You can see when women are struggling in certain situations, and we were able to make those type of payments for the counseling services that we offer. So being able to have that funding for women and really believe that they do have an opportunity to fix the situation that they're in, or able to express themselves in a very setting or in a very confidential setting is a great relief. I feel like it offers a lot of women a safe haven for them to express their emotions and be able to work through a lot of the things that have happened in their lives.
So my role in working with women who receive funding from Samaritan has been a great honor. I've been able to see and provide services for individuals that maybe wouldn't have gotten to otherwise receive services, and I've gotten to really see, be able to walk with them through struggles and be able to be a part of their journey, which is something that I think that I felt really lucky to be.
Because I feel like women do have it hard sometimes, so being able to actually have that funding and able to offer that additional help is a great relief, and it definitely gives you a difference.
Also got to experience the gratitude of seeing those individuals find new ways to maybe manage stress or anxiety or depression through the work that we do, and be able to really see the change that can come from having access to mental health services.
The joy is we can help them, and we have helped them for many years, and we will continue to.
Join me this year and write your check for the Silent Samaritan Fund.
If you are not yet a Silent Samaritan, I hope that you will consider making that something that you do to help the people in your community.
I would encourage everyone, if you need a volunteer opportunity, this is the one that you should pursue, because it really is heartwarming.
very first time, and some of you have been coming for 30 years. Either way, I want to take a moment just to say thank you. You took a bright idea and you turned it into a legacy. You saw a need and you came up with an idea and you ran with it. And it's hard to say the fullness of the impact that you've had. Women helping women, making access to care that otherwise might not have been available. So thank you for 30 years. And I'm excited to see where it goes from here. 30 more, who knows where it will go. But thank you, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you to everyone who participated in putting that video together. Now it is my pleasure to welcome a dear friend and neighbor, Kelly Kirk Wenzel, Families Ministry Associate with Grandview Church, to guide us in our invocation this morning. Following the invocation, our lunch will be served, and I'll call us back together again after lunch for the rest of our presentation. But first, Kelly.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you so much. I'm so humbled to be here today, standing amongst all of you, and to join you as a Silent Samaritan this year. Both in my work as a family ministry associate, and I'm also a licensed professional counselor, and it gives me a real insight into just the need for services for women. I see that firsthand every day. And I truly believe that eliminating a financial barrier for women to seek help is truly being the hands and feet of God. I think it's as simple as that. So as we begin our time here together, we enjoy our time together, we enjoy lunch, and we celebrate 30 years of Silent Samaritan, would you please join me in prayer? Loving God, we gather today with hearts full of gratitude for the opportunity to come together as women united in purpose and in love. We thank you for the strength, compassion, and wisdom you've instilled in each one of us. And as we gather in your name, we lift up our mission to support and empower women in their journey towards healing and wholeness. Lord, we ask that you bless the work of our hands and the funds we contribute, that they may be a source of hope and restoration for those in need. May our giving reflect your love, kindness, and generosity, and may it provide a path for women to seek the therapy and support they need to heal emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. We pray that you walk alongside those who receive assistance through this group, giving them the strength to take the steps towards healing and the courage to face their struggles. May they experience your peace and the loving care of the community around them. And Lord, help each of us to remain humble, patient, and open-hearted as we serve one another. Let this group of Silent Samaritans be a beacon of light, showing the power of women supporting women, and may our actions glorify you and bring love and hope into the lives of many. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Enjoy your lunch. Welcome back, ladies. I hope you enjoyed your lunch and the fellowship around your table. Aren't the cupcakes so cute? It's a great time to reconnect with friends each year at this luncheon. As many of you know, not only do we have Silent Samaritan Fund, but 10 years ago, in celebration of our 20th anniversary, we established the Silent Samaritan Endowment. Contributions to the endowment are held and invested to generate an annual income to fund the mission of the Silent Samaritan Fund. With your help, the endowment will continue to pay it forward for the future of many women in our community. Today, we are honored to announce the recipient of this year's Silent Samaritan Endowment Grant. Earlier this year, the Samaritan staff submitted proposals to be considered for the grant, and the endowment donors voted. We are pleased to announce the winner, Dance for Mental Health. The Dance for Mental Health program is facilitated by Samaritan therapist Renee Kurtz. Renee, would you please join me up on the stage? On behalf of the Silent Samaritan Endowment donors, we are pleased to present you with a certificate which signifies that your program, Dance for Mental Health, will receive this year's grant award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words?
Good afternoon, and thank you so much. It is an honor to get to be with all of you here and to continue the mission of Women Helping Women. I'm very grateful that the Samaritan Center has piloted and launched the Dance for Mental Health program, and now through this endowment and your support, it can continue to reach more women this coming year. So stay tuned for more details of where it will be, because coming year with this support, I will hopefully be able to offer it in some newer locations and some broader outreach to our community. So to say thank you, and in the spirit of Dance for Mental Health, I, from my heart, extend the gratitude to yours. And then invite that if you would like to join me, we can extend our heart's gratitude and what we have to offer all the women in this community. So we can take that breath in with our love and gratitude from our heart and extend it out beyond, across the table, out of this room, to all the women in our community. Thank you very much.
That was wonderful. I'm pretty relaxed right now. Now for our main presentation. Yesterday, today, and our tomorrow. Linda, Debbie, Erica, would you please join me on stage?
Who's supposed to have the baton? You.
It's right beside your chair. Can you get it? Yep. Okay. As you can see, Alta Landis is unable to join us today, so we will begin with a special presentation that was filmed last week.
Through a series of women's individual stories, we want to share with you the journey of the Silent Samaritans over the past 30 years. And we begin with a conversation between Linda Peacock and Alta Landis. Unfortunately, Alta is unable to join us today. So Linda and Alta got together last week to share their message with you.
I remember it like it was yesterday. I was at the Samaritan Center for a meeting with a bunch of people directed by Barbara Tolbert about the partnership program, the church partnership program. On the way out to stop me. And she said, "We have a problem." I said, "Yeah." I'm thinking, why is she asking me, talking to me? There are lots of women, she said, who need counseling and don't have the funds to pay the full fee. I'm sure there are many women in Lancaster County who would like to help. We have to do something. And I said, let's have a lunch. Women love to go out to lunch. So I knew I picked the right thing. Many of you have heard the story of 30 years ago, at the origin of the Silent Samaritans. Some of you were here at the beginning, and that is the story. Having the privilege of being the first female therapist at the center, I had the opportunity to meet with many women. Some of them struggled to pay for treatment. Their lives were in transition, often with few funds and no insurance. Then a light bulb went on. What if we asked women to donate to a fund, helping women pay for part of the counseling fee, and yes, then have a lunch? The thought was simple. Keep it simple. Keep it silent. Be Samaritans. Women love to help women. We would send out a simple invite to a few women we know. No big deal, no committees. And guess what? That first year, we had 156 women respond to that simple ask to the tune of $16,000. Amazing. And that's really the simple story. Women told other women and the enthusiasm spread. Our favorite male colleagues, the men at the center, voiced their doubts and opinions. It's too simple. It needs to be organized. It won't last, they said. And here we are, 30 years later, strong. It's not an exaggeration, no, it isn't. From nearly 2,000 donors, we started with a lunch on the Monday after Thanksgiving to express our gratitude to the generosity of those women. We met right here at the Eden Resort, full circle 30 years later. Businesses mostly sponsored the luncheon, so the funds would go to the women for whom it was intended. And the same thing is happening this year. We're so grateful to our sponsors. At the rate this small idea spread, the men were right. We needed to become more organized. So over the years, many women volunteered on the planning committee, signed letters to donors, stuffed envelopes, and participated in many other activities to promote the mission of the Silent Samaritan Fund. We persisted and grew stronger. Many women benefited as a result. After seeing the brochure of today's event, a woman wrote to me saying, "I know personally, because years ago at the lowest point in my life, I was a recipient of the Silent Samaritan Fund. Thank you, thank you." Some of the recipients chose to come give back once they were on stronger footing. We have heard from many recipients about what your generosity has meant to them. That's the story. We wonder what giving has meant to you. Maya Angelou said, "I have found that among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver." Have you found this to be true for you? Feel free to share around your table your experiences with giving. Today we celebrate today, yesterday, and tomorrow. To the future we look, confident that more thoughtful, generous women, committed women, will continue to join together to benefit the lives of other women. Let's pass it on to our younger sisters and more friends. Margaret Mead says it well, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens women can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And that, friends, is the story.
Alta and I were proud to share our story. And now it's up to you. You know many women who aren't here today, so we encourage you next year to enlarge your table. Thank you very much. The baton from the past is going to be handed on to the present. Let's see, past, present. I think I got that now. Let me introduce you to Deb Miller, who is a great counselor, a wonderful lady, and my friend.
This is the closest I've ever gotten to running in a relay. So thank you for letting me have this moment. And I didn't drop it. So it's a, oh, thanks. Well, you know what? That fits because my first line in my speech is that I'm a ½ inch shy of 6 feet tall, which is why I had to raise the mic. And I feel like I've always been this big. Like, I think I was born this size. So when I use the term standing on the shoulders of Linda Peacock and Alta Landis, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I've never stood on anybody's shoulders. But in this case, I do. And I'm happy to join today the movement that they started yesterday, a movement of women like all of you who want to help other women and make quality mental health care accessible for all of us into tomorrow. So I'm honored and humbled to be able to follow them today. So let's talk about today in the context of Silent Samaritan funding. Today, I think about Lynette and Rosa and Ashley and Jasmine. I think about ways they've overcome and ways they still struggle. I think about sessions when I see growth and weeks later when they return and there's been regression. I think about the tears they've cried and the laughs we've shared in my corner office 4 stories above Central Market. Lynette speaks of her husband of many decades, recently buried. Her gratitude for sobriety. How do I grieve, she asks. The moments in his memorial service that brought comfort, the joy of grandparenting. In her second language, Rosa shares pain, death, loss. She shows me pictures of her life on an island, memories of long ago, a desire to help others, her new tattoo, a decorated cake she made for a coworker, sugar mixed with her salty tears. Ashley doesn't understand her mother leaving many years ago, weeping, longing, lonely, hoping for love, unable to find words for herself. After her bus ride, Jasmine nervously announces a job interview, cautiously excited, then remembers an abusive partner, and she reaches for the tissues. These are snapshots of Silent Samaritan funded clients, women I have the sacred honor of meeting with every day, women who cut your hair and teach your grandchildren, women we pass in the grocery store, women just like us. And now I'd like to tell you another story, because we practice spiritually integrated psychotherapy at Samaritan, which is a fancy way of saying we use the spiritual or faith tradition of our clients to support their healing. I'm going to tell you a story from my own faith tradition. Would have been easy to discuss the parable of the Good Samaritan. Samaritans in our name, and implies helping someone who can't help themselves, but this story is about the Samaritan woman. In the Gospel of John, we read about Jesus' interaction with the Samaritan woman. You may be familiar with her as the woman at the well. She's nameless. She's been shamed throughout history of the retelling of this story. She belongs to a man who she's not married to. The text tells us Jesus chooses to interact with her, which crosses gender lines. He's Jewish, she's Samaritan, which crosses ethnic lines. And he knows she's a woman who's had 5 husbands, which crosses moral, possibly socioeconomic lines of the day. And when he offers her living water, her response is to say, "Give me this water so that I may not thirst." In other words, she wants what he is offering. In her sermon entitled Wounds and Wells, one of my all-time favorite women, Nadia Bolz-Weber, a Lutheran minister from Denver, Colorado, finds this moment in the story one of the most important. When the Samaritan woman says this, Jesus goes, quote, straight for her wound. She says, "Give me this living water," and he asks about her husband. He wasn't avoiding the subject, he was avoiding the BS, end quote. May I suggest this is also really good therapy? This woman who has gone to the well in the heat of the day, perhaps to avoid other women, has the longest recorded conversation with Jesus of anyone in all the Gospels. Not a king, not one of the 12 male disciples, not a priest, but a woman who is seen, who is heard, who is healed. Bolz-Weber goes on to say that, quote, "Our greatest wound, our deepest shame, is also our greatest gift, our greatest teacher," unquote. At Samaritan Counseling Center, wounds are seen, can be seen, will be seen. It happens every day for women sitting in a chair in a therapist's office in an old farmhouse along Oregon Pike, because funding was made available by women like you. Women who are giving cups of cold water as silent Samaritans to other women, and in so doing, Jasmine is seen, Ashley's cries are heard, Lynette begins treatment. Lines are crossed to have a conversation with Rosa. And not just once, but again and again this happens. Every time Silent Samaritan funding is used, another woman at another well is offered living water. We all stand on Linda and Alta's shoulders. Maybe because we have felt like we didn't belong, no matter how hard we tried or who we were married to. Maybe because we've carried shame for more years than we care to admit. Maybe because we were thirsty once too, and know what it is to be in need, and now we are ready to give food to the hungry and welcome the stranger, even if it means going out in the heat of the noonday sun.
Oh, thank you, Debbie. No, I'm not as tall as Debbie. Thank you, Debbie. Before I get started, I just want to address one thing that I might be a little grayer than you expect from tomorrow for Samaritan. I'm Erica Snitzer. I'm a licensed associate professional counselor, and I'm a resident counselor with Samaritan Counseling Center. Debbie's my supervisor, overseeing my work
and providing valuable mentorship. And the view from atop this giant's shoulders is amazing. I'm so grateful to you, Debbie. I wasn't sure how to feel when asked to be the face of Samaritans Tomorrow. You see, I didn't want to be a counselor when I grew up. It wasn't my first career, and so years ago when I was working as a paralegal, I found myself discontented. I considered going back to school, but I didn't feel confident. I felt really uncertain. And at that time, I found two good things. I found a counselor, a woman who helped me to harness my anxiety. And I found the 23 Plus program at Meredith College. If there are any fellow angels in here, please raise your onyx. You never know, okay? Meredith College is a women's college in Raleigh, North Carolina, and the 23 Plus program encourages women who are beyond the traditional college age to pursue an education and a degree. The program was designed by women with a passion for helping other women to grow and succeed. That sentiment probably sounds pretty familiar to all of you here in the room today. While at Meredith, I studied as part of the honors program. I conducted award-winning undergraduate research, and I graduated summa cum laude. Thank you. These were things that my anxiety told me were impossible. And with counseling, I believed something different. After graduation, I spent many years balancing various work roles, working in nonprofit organizations, serving in mental health agencies, and creating and promoting my own visual art. Balancing these jobs with my roles as a household manager and a mother. In years to come, friends, other women, nurses, classroom teachers began to encourage me, suggested that maybe I was capable of even something more. Once again, I returned to school to find myself and to create someone stronger, someone more intentional, and someone with something valuable to contribute to my community. At Adler University, I discovered my desire to work with older adults. You may have read my recent article in the Samaritan Connection. That's volume 36. Page 7. You'll note that you'll find yourselves in there as well. To summarize that piece, my own passion intersected with plans hatching at Samaritan Center. When I met with Director Steve Shedler about internship, our conversation quickly centered around our common goal to bring services to older adults in the communities in which they live. It became clear to me that Samaritan's training program was my next step forward. Here's where this future truly began for me, but not just for me. I'll begin by sharing my experience serving as a member of the Older Adult Mental Health Task Force. I joined the task force as a practicum student in the spring of 2024, just as things were really picking up speed. There were plans for an older adult mental health pilot program, and Samaritan Center was working on funding that initiative. Shout out to our development team. I think everybody knows who these amazing women are. Let's give them a round of applause. Serving on the Older Adult Mental Health Task Force gave me many opportunities. presenting on mental health and wellness topics and providing educational programs, tabling at informational events, working one-on-one with clients in retirement communities, working with couples as aging impacted their relationships, and developing an expressive arts program and a group to provide anxiety coping skills. And finally, collaborating with community chaplains to integrate spirituality into our mental health care. This has been an amazing opportunity to pursue my passion for providing mental health education and counseling to the older adult population. It's also a great honor to be trusted by Samaritan to be a pioneer in mental health care within older adult communities. This work parallels the mission of the Silent Samaritans by providing services to those who may otherwise face barriers to that care. Samaritan Counseling Center has become an active leader in the future of counseling services for older adults in our community. Next, I would like to tell you a little bit about Samaritan Counseling Center's training program. I'm a member of that program as a resident, and it's an important facet of the developing future of counseling services here in Lancaster. I may be biased, but I recognize that Samaritan Counseling's training program offers more than the basics required for graduation. It is more than skills practice or on-the-job training. Samaritan Counseling's training program encourages growth and development of the whole person of its counselors. The training program gave me the opportunity to bring my strengths forward and apply them to new programs. With Samaritan's support, I can effectively influence the way mental health services are provided in our community. This isn't only true for me. I am witness to other counselors in training at every stage of Samaritan Counseling Center's training program. Each of them has a passion and a plan to provide mental health services to underserved or underrepresented members of our community. We have women serving at Milagro House, providing services to mothers who seek a better future for themselves and a better tomorrow for their families. We have interns and residents serving as school-based outpatient counselors, impacting the lives of some of our youngest clients, the literal future of our community. Today, I'm proud to speak for tomorrow, and I can tell you the future of Samaritan Center is incredibly bright. From my internship to my residency today, I'm honored to be among the counselors of Samaritan, counselors like Debbie, who I admire and I respect. I have been seen and heard and accepted by my colleagues since day one at Samaritan Counseling Center. And today it's an honor to be counted among you as a donor to the Silent Samaritan Fund. It's my honor to pay forward the support and encouragement I received from the women in my own life. Hi, Mom. Shout out to my mom who is supporting me here today. Samaritan chooses, develops, and supports the counselors of the future, many of whom will be women, with many of those women providing counseling service to other women, regardless of their ability to pay, thanks to funds provided by amazing Silent Samaritans like you. Please, give yourselves a hand. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies. Did you get the idea of the baton? They passed, okay. Thank you so much to all the women who shared with us today. As we conclude our luncheon, we will notice that servers are coming around to bring you a glass of sparkling cider. In just a moment, Samaritan therapist Judith Kennedy will be sharing a toast that she wrote for this occasion. While servers are making their way around the room, I want to bring a few things to your attention. At your table, you will see double-sided table tents near the balloon centerpiece. It's a reminder of the impact that our Silent Samaritan funds have on women's lives. There are envelopes next to the tents for cash or check, and you can make a credit card payment at the back table with Nancy. She's back there by the glass doors. We invite you all to give a gift of any amount to support women's access to mental health care. And a woman at your table may take home the balloons. If you're having a party, boy, we did it all for you. Also at the back of the room, near the exit, you will find a sign-up sheet for volunteers. Please join us as we plan our 31st anniversary luncheon for next year. If your email address has changed, please let us know that. We will be sending out a survey by email following the luncheon. If you would prefer to fill it out on paper, you can find a copy at the back of the room. This is really important information because it really gives us an idea of what you liked and what you dislike and who you'd like to be serve as a speaker next year and, you know, those kind of things. And as a new MC. Also at the Samaritan Center resource table, you will see a reminder that the Samaritan Center is participating in the Extra Give on November 21st this year. If you plan to give, please note that you can designate your gift to the Silent Samaritan Fund by noting it in the comments section. At the resource table, you can learn more about the incredible work the center is doing every day, not just for women, but for anyone in our community seeking quality, affordable mental health services. I'm getting the signal that I need to keep talking, so I will do that. And I do have to say, ladies, I have been impacted by therapy also, not at the Samaritan Center, but a private therapist. And I want to tell you that the first phone call that you make is absolutely the hardest. And once you make that phone call and receive the services that you need, it makes such an impact on your whole psyche and your whole well-being. So if you need therapy, please do not hesitate to make that phone call. It is very, very important. We also have a special person to thank this year, and that would be our own Anita Hanna. Anita puts in many hours that we don't even realize planning this luncheon, executing all of the paperwork and all of that information. Anita, would you come forward, please? This is what happens when you tell me to keep talking, Anita. Don't look at me like that. Here she is, and she has done so much work for the Samaritan Center. Give her a hand, please. Had to do it. Thank you, Anita. Judith, would you please join me on the stage? Samaritan Center therapist and Silent Samaritan Judith Kennedy will now lead us in a toast. It's quite an honor to give the celebratory toast for the 30th anniversary of the Silent Samaritans. So we're here today to raise a glass to the 30th anniversary of Silent Samaritans, women helping women. Today, the parable of the mustard seed is apt. The tiniest seed flourishes into a grand, sheltering tree, nurturing all who gather beneath it. 30 years ago, the idea of the Silent Samaritans was a tiny seed of hope, nurtured by the compassionate vision of two women who wanted counseling services to be available for women without adequate funds or health care coverage. They gathered others to the mission until that tiny seed became the grand tree that it is today. A special thanks to all those women who were there in the beginning and who continue to this day, raising funds and coordinating this luncheon. Thanks to all the therapists and support staff who have cared for the courageous women who seek therapy and other resources. We commend the courage of those women who picked up the phone to schedule their first therapy session. Some of these women came to counseling services in secrecy, and most of them in great despair. Their stories then were no longer held in silence. They grew into greater self-acceptance and resilience, and some were led to help other women, while others had ripple effects into their families and communities. None of this would be possible without our contributors, volunteers, and donors, and by all of us here today. Each of us, a silent Samaritan, silently supporting our fellow women along their healing journeys. So let us today raise our glasses of 30 years of Silent Samaritans to the power of women helping women, sheltered beneath that which is much greater than all of us, ensuring a future of compassion and care for those in need. And we have my glass. Here's my glass. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you, Judith. I want to thank you all as individual Silent Samaritans. Your generosity is incredible. And I want to thank you as a group of women helping women. The impact you are making on the lives of women in need is extraordinary. Thank you again for joining us today. We hope to see you next year at our anniversary luncheon. Thank you.